In a world filled with secrets, sometimes you have to step into the dark to find the light. Welcome to the Dark Lights podcast, where we unravel eerie mysteries, one story at a time.
Ever heard about the astronomer who vanished?
You mean Dr. Granger?
Yeah, Dr. Thomas Granger. The guy who disappeared after that whole moon thing.
Oh, yeah, that's a wild story.
So we're diving into that today. The disappearance of Dr. Thomas Granger.
We've got articles, reports, all sorts of stuff about it.
A whole rabbit hole of weirdness, right?
Absolutely.
So Granger, he was obsessed with the moon. Like, seriously obsessed. Built his own observatory just to study it.
I mean, the guy was brilliant. Basically, a modern-day Galileo.
Except instead of telescopes, he was all about high-powered cameras and live streaming his findings.
And people loved it. He had a huge following online, everyone eager to see the moon up close and personal.
Which is where things start to get really strange. So picture this. It's the night of Granger's big reveal. Testing out some new lens, claims it can capture details no one's ever seen before.
Yeah, like way beyond anything commercially available at the time.
Right. And the chat is blowing up, everyone's excited. Then bam, things take a turn for the weird.
It's actually perfect how the source material lays it out. You feel that shift.
Yeah, like from excitement to unease.
Exactly.
So at first it's just this flicker on the screen.
Easy to write off as a glitch, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Except Granger zooms in on this thing. It's not a glitch. It's these small metallic shapes moving around on the lunar surface. Not randomly either, like they were in formation.
See, that's what gets me, that detail. Not just blurry lights or something. This is different.
And just when you think it can't get weirder, Granger, he manages to focus on this structure.
Structure.
Like a tower. Not a natural rock formation, but something artificial.
And Granger, he's no dummy, right? This is a guy who knows the moon.
Oh, yeah, he knew his stuff.
So when HE freaks out...
Which you can hear in the recording, by the way. He goes from excited scientist to, I don't know, downright terrified in like seconds.
Yeah, like he knows he just saw something he shouldn't have.
And that's when the stream cuts out. Completely dead.
What happened?
Well, it gets creepier. Later that night, Granger gets a visit.
A visit. From who?
Let's just say some very serious-looking dudes in black suits show up at his door.
You're kidding. Like, the cliche.
It's almost comical, right?
Uh-huh.
Except when you hear what they did.
They didn't hurt him, did they?
No, and that's the weird part. They weren't there to rough him up or anything. These guys were on a mission.
What kind of mission?
They shut him down, demanded his silence, took all his equipment, cameras, computers, even that special lens he was so proud of.
Hold on, everything. That's intense.
Intense is an understatement. It's like they wanted to erase his discovery.
And did they?
Well, that's what we're going to dive into, isn't it? Who were these men in black suits, and what exactly did Granger stumble upon that night?
Well, the source material goes into detail about these guys, the men in black suits.
And Brain.
What kind of details?
Like they were pros, organized, knew exactly what they were doing.
So not your typical neighborhood thugs, then?
Not even close. This was Todd surgical. It's like,
Whoa.
They wanted him silenced, but not scared, you know? Silenced, but not scared. That's even creepier when you think about it. Like, they just wanted the whole thing to go away.
Exactly. Which makes you wonder, what were they so afraid of? What could be so terrifying about some shapes on the moon that they'd send in a whole team to shut it down?
Right. And the creepiest part is, it worked. After those guys paid him a visit, Granger tried to tell people what he'd seen.
Oh, yeah, I read about that.
Friends, colleagues, even tried contacting some reporters.
Oh, what happened?
No one believed him. Thought he was stressed, overworked, maybe that the new lens was malfunctioning or something.
Oh, man. Can you imagine seeing something that incredible
and having no one believe you?
That's gonna mess with your head.
Big time. And I think that's a key part of this whole story. Isolation. Here's this guy used to sharing his discoveries with the world, and suddenly he's got this huge secret he can't tell anyone.
That's a recipe for disaster right there. Isolation can do strange things to a person, especially someone already dealing with a lot.
Totally. And that brings us to the big question, right? What happened to Dr. Granger? Did he just snap?
It's possible, right? The pressure of it all, the isolation, the fear. Maybe it just got to be too much.
Okay.
Or maybe someone or something made him disappear.
And this is where things get really interesting, right? Because if someone did take Granger, why go to all that trouble? I mean, why not just discredit him publicly? Make him look like a fraud?
Because then it's just a crazy story, right? Easily dismissed. But a disappearance. that lingers. It makes people ask questions, start digging.
Exactly. And that's what we're doing here, right? Digging for answers. So let's start with what Granger saw on the moon.
Those metallic shapes, the tower.
Yeah.
You really think there could be something to it?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know. But the fact that someone went to such great lengths to cover it up,
Yeah.
it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It sure does.
So much we still don't know, right?
Yeah, it's a real head scratcher.
We've got this brilliant astronomer, years dedicated to studying the moon, pushing the boundaries of what we thought we knew. Then, bam, he sees something unbelievable, and vanishes. Just duck on.
And the lack of answers, the way it was all covered up, that just makes it even weirder.
Exactly. Like, if he was just losing it, if it was all in his head, why go through all that trouble to silence him?
Makes you wonder who else knows about this, right? What else is out there that we haven't seen? Or maybe we have seen it, but...
But we just explain it away. Like, our brains can't even process it.
Exactly. It's like that old saying, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction.
Stranger and maybe a whole lot scarier. I mean, if something's out there that's advanced enough to build whatever that was on the moon.
Yeah. And if they want to keep it quiet.
And they've got the means to do it, that's the unsettling part. We're left with more questions than answers.
It's like staring into the void, isn't it? All that unknown out there.
Makes you feel pretty small, doesn't it?
It does, but it also makes you think, doesn't it? About the bigger picture. About what we still don't know about the universe. About ourselves.
Well, that's what these deep dives are all about, right? Exploring the unknown, even when it gets a little strange.
Exactly. It's about asking the tough questions, even if we're not sure we want to hear the answers.
So, to wrap things up, we've got this incredible story. A missing astronomer, mysterious men in black suits, possible structures on the moon.
It sounds like the plot of a movie.
Right. But this is real life. At least Dr. Granger thought so. And that's what we'll leave you with today. What do you think? Was Granger onto something incredible? Or was it all in his head? And what about those men in black suits? Let us know what you think. Until next time, keep looking up and maybe, just maybe, you'll see something out there that challenges everything you thought you knew.
Is this something that you think could happen to you? We are looking forward to hearing from you in the comments. Let us know what you think happened here. All of our content should be considered for casual entertainment purposes only and not used for any other purpose. Thank you for listening. Please like, follow, comment and subscribe. It really helps us out. We will see you next time on the Dark Lights podcast.